What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are just going to be quickly touching on some interesting bits of information that we just learned a few hours ago at the EA Spotlight livestream, where they talked about the future of FPS games with some of the developers of Battlefield 2042 and Apex Legends. This was a short little 30-minute pre-recorded livestream where Stella Chung from IGN interviewed Vince Zampella, who I'm sure most of you know. He was the founder of Respawn and he's now the group general manager, meaning I think he's working on a few different teams at once. Chad Grenier, who is the game director on Apex, Christian Grass, who is the general manager of Ripple Effect Studios, formerly known as DICE LA, and then Oscar Gabrielson, who is the general manager of DICE. These guys all sat down for about 30 minutes to discuss some stories about their time at working on these games. There was a lot of talk about Apex, so if you guys are fans of Apex, I would definitely recommend checking out the live stream. I'll leave that linked down below, but today obviously we are just going to be focusing on Battlefield. Now, just to set expectations, we didn't learn a crazy amount of news or anything like that. There was not so much news, rather than there was just a lot of little tidbits of information that the Battlefield guys covered, so we're just going to go through all of that today as fast as I can, as some of it was actually really interesting to hear about, and like I said, if you do want to watch the whole 30-minute stream, I'll leave a link down in the description. Now anyway, one of the first things that they touched on was to do with the Frostbite engine, and we have already heard a bit about this at the initial reveal, but they doubled down by confirming that this is a new iteration of the Frostbite engine. I assume being called Frostbite 4, but they didn't actually say, and it has been worked on by EA Gothenburg for 3 or 4 years now, so this new engine is really going to give the game a massive boost, and it's actually what allows them to scale the game up so much in terms of the 128 players and the enormous maps. They mentioned that it's not all that often that they can actually do stuff like that, because obviously they're sort of relying on the console generations and upgrades, so when they do get the chance, they said they want to just go all in on this upgrade, since it is not a very common occurrence. They then spoke a little bit about the Levolution, mostly to do with the Tornado, and there wasn't a heap of new information in this section, but one thing that Oscar talked about was that when the Tornado is incoming, there's a few little giveaways that let you know it isn't too far away, such as the sky becoming a little bit cloudy and the trees actually starting to bend a bit in the wind, similar to something like Parasol Storm, for example. So I think that's going to be awesome that the entire atmosphere of the map will actually change with that Levolution. They then confirmed that Battlefield 2042 has been in the works for around 3 years now, which pretty much means that it has been worked on ever since Battlefield 5 launched. I think a lot of people don't realize how long some of these games take to make, so that's definitely awesome news that it's been in the works for so long, and with such a huge team involved, as well as it hopefully means that it is going to be super high quality rather than just sort of being rushed out for the sake of it. Now, speaking of the team, they confirmed that this is the biggest Battlefield team ever, with DICE Stockholm, DICE LA, or now currently known as Ripple Effect Studios, Criterion and EA Gothenburg all being involved in making the game, and that's never been the case before with a Battlefield game. Oscar actually mentioned that normally having so many people working on a game can actually be a detriment, and he said that they'd usually be pretty crazy to try and have so many people involved, but due to COVID and the new working environment that the world is in right now, he said this is actually one of the best decisions that they could have made, because it really helps streamline the process, and having more hands on deck has really just helped them with not needing to delay the game or work crazy amounts of overtime just to get everything done. So a lot of people, myself included, were actually worried about having so many teams working on the game, because sometimes less is more in that sense, but what Oscar said was definitely very reassuring, and I am now really excited to see how it goes with having so many people on board. They then started to talk about the development cycles and how long certain things take to make, and Oscar said that the average Battlefield map takes about 6 to 12 months to make, depending on the size. So that just gives you an idea of how long these things do take to make, and it's definitely understandable why they are only launching with 7 maps. Now, before you start worrying, that doesn't mean that we are going to have to wait, say, 6 to 12 months after launch to get a new map, because he then confirmed that they are really well organized for the live service already. They're actually already working on new content for the game after it launches, which I think Ripple Effect are actually taking charge on, and so hopefully that points at a really solid live service. Obviously Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2, their last 2 titles, have had very shaky live services, and I think they learned a lot from that, as well as Apex, which Oscar mentioned in the stream. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on, and this was without a doubt the best part of this stream, was their talk about this love letter mode that they keep teasing, and my god did they hype that shit up on this stream. They made it sound like it's going to be amazing, and they seem super confident that this is going to be something we're all going going to love in Battlefield 2042. I do have a full video coming on what I think this mode is going to be in just a week or so keep an eye out for that, but they confirmed in this stream that it is going to be involving a lot of the classic Battlefield maps, which also really seems to line up with that theory that's been floating around the community. And yeah, they kind of just sat around for a minute or so just talking about how excited they are for the community and how everyone that they've shown internally has just been over the moon with it. So they're definitely setting the expectations high, and honestly, after their past experiences, I feel like they wouldn't do that unless this thing is going to be insane, so I cannot wait to find out more about it. The confirmation that classic Battlefield maps are coming back is actually huge in regards to these theories of what the mode is. Like I said, I have an actual in-depth video coming soon on this, but just to sum it up, the rumors are that this is going to be some sort of Battlefield hub, which was obviously rumored before the game was even revealed, where a heap of old content from the old games is going to be available for us to play, essentially remastered and in this new engine. We're likely going to be hearing more about this mode at EA Play in pretty much exactly 2 weeks from today, so I cannot wait for that, and I will be making a heap of videos surrounding that when we do hear more, so keep your eyes peeled for those. That is pretty much going to wrap this one up though, guys. Like I said, there wasn't really any huge news or anything groundbreaking, but for those of us who are really excited for the game, this information was all still really exciting nonetheless. So let me know down below what you guys thought of it. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.